Hare Krishna devotees. Welcome to the Manah series. Today we are going to look at the instruction number 10, the 10th verse by Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to the mind. And this verse talks about how taking shelter of Radharani and remembering her as the super excellent goal of our life. She is the sadhya, she is the personality who we want to make our life and soul. So how we should always remember Radharani, that and her glories, how her position is super excellent, that is mentioned in this verse. So the verse goes like this. Ratim Gauri Lile Apitapati Saundarya Kirane Shachi Lakshmi Satya Paribhavati Saubhagya Valanai Vashikare Chandravali Mukham Navina Brajasati Kshipatyaradhyatam Haridaita Radham Bhajamana. O mind, worship Radha who is Haridaita, the most beloved of Hari. So we have to understand that the different comparisons which are made here are not for the sake of minimizing the other personalities, but rather just because they are used in comparison for Radharani, they are even more glorified. I will give an example. Like Radharani, she is like a sunlight, and she is scorching or minimizing the effulgence of Rati, Gauri, and Leela, by her beauty, who is defeating Shachi, Lakshmi, and Satyabhama with the force of her good fortune, and who casts the young girls of Braja like Chandravali far away with her ability to control Krishna. So looks like Radharani is glorified and others are minimized. No, in spiritual world, we take comparison. The thing which is being compared to is also glorified when the object of comparison is glorified in comparison to that object. In other words, when we say that Radharani is so great that all the Vraj gopis, uh, I mean, their faces become dry by seeing how Radharani is controlling alone Krishna. So that doesn't mean that the Vraj gopis are less or the Vipaksha gopis are less or something, but rather uh, this shows that how they are so fortunate that they are used for comparison with Radharani. Like that, one should think. Uh, because ultimately all the Shaktis are coming from Radharani. She is the Mool Prakriti. She is the original Shakti, Ladini Shakti of Krishna. From her, she is Amshini. Just like Krishna is Amshi, from whom comes different incarnations like Lord Narayan, Lord Ram, etc. Similarly, Radharani is Amshini. From her comes different Shakti expansions like Lakshmi Devi, Sita Devi, etc. So the great devotees, uh, they also mention that it is, even if they sing of Radharani's glories for the lifetimes, still they cannot explain one dust from the mountainous glory of Radharani. But they give some hint how she is, who is Radharani, how should we see Radharani, how should we remember Sri Radharani. We should see Radharani as Govinda Anandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani. That is how we should see Radharani. She is everything for Govinda, Krishna. Hmm. So, if Krishna is compared, Krishna's desires are compared to lotus, Radharani is compared to sun that blooms that lotus. If Krishna is compared, his heart is compared to night blooming lotus, then Radharani is compared to the beautiful, graceful moonlight that blooms that night lotus, or night lilies, whatever is the correct word. So, if Krishna's mind is compared to swan, then Radharani is the Manas lake in which that swan is attached to. If Krishna is compared to chatak bird, then Radharani is the shower of rains. If Krishna is compared to elephant, Radharani is compared to a beautiful lake, enchanting lake, unending lake, in which this Krishna's uh, mad elephant like heart plays. Krishna's compared to If Krishna is compared to fish, then Radharani is compared to an ocean in which that fish plays. If Krishna is compared to Tamal Vriksha, then Radharani is the golden entwining vine that embraces that Tamal Vriksha. If Krishna is compared to monsoon cloud, Radharani is the steady electricity, which is so wonderful. Usually, electricity is just like a flash, it appears and disappears, but Radharani is like the steady electricity. And her charm or her effulgence is not like electricity or sun, which kind of burns the eyes, or rather, it gives trouble to the eyes. But this particular effulgence of Radharani, it soothes the eyes with the nectarian effulgence of hers. If Krishna is compared to Grishma season, summer, then Radharani is like Chandra Chandana Chandrika. That which is compared to the camphor and sandalwood paste which is applied to Krishna's body, cooling him. And Shita, in the cold season, she is like the warm clothing to Krishna. And in Madhu spring season, she is like the Madhu's. If Krishna is compared to tree in a spring season, the Radharani is that spring. And if in rainy season, she is like the Mallar Rag that gives pleasure to Krishna. So this Mallar Rag is rag that is sung in monsoon season. And if in Sharat season, Radharani is the that bride who is finding uh, her husband in terms of Rasikendra Krishna, uh, Rasa Shri who is choosing Krishna as her spouse, you can say. And in Hemanta season, in the love battle, Radharani defeats Krishna. So she is like a Jayashri, the victory personified. So that is how in Brihad Bhagavatamrita also it is mentioned that the Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhaka is more affectionate towards Radharani. And through Radharani's following orders, he is pleasing Krishna. Hmm. The explanation goes like this: Sri Radha Ajna Paripalanena Eva Shri Krishnasya Vashikarnat. Krishna is controlled simply by following the orders of Radharani. Swayameva Adhikadhika Tat Sangha Sukha Siddhe. That means simply by following orders of Radharani, one gets the happiness of associating with Krishna more and more automatically. Therefore, Raghunath Das Goswami also, he is also praying, Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Bharatram Tato Mamanyasti Gatirna Kapi. Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram. That Radharani whose eyes are blooming lotuses like lotus petal like eyes. So that Radharani I worship. Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasyam. Her smile is such a gentle and beautiful that I remember that smile. Vadami Radham Karuna Bharadram. Her heart is so full of compassion that I speak of her glories. Tato Mamanyasti Katirna Kapi. Apart from her, I do not have any other recluse, a shelter, or a destination. Hmm. Even Narad Muni, when he sees Radharani in one Puran, Narad Muni explains, Asya Sandarshanaadeva Govinda Charanambuje Yah Premabdi Rabut Same Bhuta Purvana Karejit. Just by seeing Radharani, the way my heart is flooded with love for Krishna, that is like never before, unprecedented. And then by her uh, sight only, gives so much happiness to the heart. Mahadbhuta Rasananda Shithili Krita Manase Mahabhagyana Kenapi Gatasi Mama Drukpatham. Oh Radharani, by some very great fortune that you have passed on the path of my eyes. Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume, something like that, you know. That means I am able to see you because of my great fortune. So this is the super excellent position of Srimati Radharani. That we have to always remember that Radharani Anaradhya Radha Padam Bojarenum, without worshipping Radharani, dust of her lotus feet. Anashritya Vrindatavin Tat Padankam, without taking shelter of Vrindavan, which is marked by her lotus footprints. Asambhasha Tat Bhava Gambhira Chittan, without conversing with the grave devotees of Radharani, whose life and soul is Radharani. Katham Shama Sindho Rasasyavagaha. How can you even imagine or dream of bathing in the nectar ocean of Sham? It is impossible. So that is our Sri Radha, and this is our 10th instruction. Radha Krishna willing, we will meet again with the last instruction of Manah Shiksha along with the benediction. Hare Krishna. We pray to Raghunath Das Goswami Pad that by his grace we develop Rati towards lotus feet of Radha, Krishna, and their paraphernalia. Hare Krishna.